Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all doing well. This is my Formula 1 United States Grand Prix review. I'm already done with reviewing the actual weights before people come at me saying, "Oh, there was a sprint weight." For me, obviously, I'll make my opinions here in terms of the Formula 1 sprint weights. It's year to one on the screen, but I am done with reviewing the actual Grand Prix. Reviewing the actual Grand Prix. So starting off, start off with obviously the most dominant team in F1, and that's Red Bull. How they got on this weekend. Max Verstappen didn't have it his own way in qualifying. Max Verstappen, the defending champion and the year-round champion, who is now 3-time world champion now, Max Verstappen. He did start P6, but it says a lot. It does say a lot when Max Verstappen starting in P6 that a lot of people are still predicting him to win the race. Which just sums up this season, in my opinion. Which sums up the season. His teammate Sergio Perez, he's been awful as a teammate. Starting 9th and finishing 4th. Max Verstappen joins the 50 Grand Prix, the 50 race wins club, joining the other legends of Alan Prost, Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, and of course, formerly of Red Bull, Sebastian Vettel. Another question is, should Sergio Perez use the seat if he uses second in the Drivers' Championship? But we'll start off with Max Verstappen. He don't give him credit. He don't give credit where it's due. What a season he's had, Max Verstappen. The dominance of Max Verstappen. And it's not even the car. It's not even the car for me. I just think it's the driver ability. That's what it is. I would keep on saying it. Right now. If it's the car, Sergio Perez would be on par with Max Verstappen, batting for the Drivers' Championship. So it can't be the car, can it? So it really can't be the car if Sergio Perez is struggling to keep hold of second place in the Drivers' Championship, and he is struggling. Yes, we will about it with Lewis Hamilton. With Lewis Hamilton chasing Perez down for that second place, for that battle to be the first user in the Drivers' Championship. Because that's why it is. That's why it is. Let's be real, people. Max Verstappen, for me, I'm going to give him huge praise here. He is Senna and Michael Schumacher combined. You see what he did in the sprint race on Saturday against Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc was alongside Max Verstappen, but Max Verstappen is doing all he can to win that sprint race and giving him no space at all. Tight, squeezing Charles Leclerc to the left so he can't overtake him. That's what Max Verstappen does. He's up here with his mindset and mentality. Yeah, do all you can to win. Which he will be criticised for. For being too aggressive. But fucking hell, all the drivers are aggressive. Lewis Hamilton's aggressive. Lewis Hamilton, right, he's the most defended driver in F1 history. When really, for me, he's been aggressive at times as well. Lewis Hamilton, stop saying he's this perfect driver when he isn't. When he's been aggressive as well. Lewis Hamilton, when he won championships. So Hamilton and Verstappen, they had themselves to blame for the 2021 pantomime, in my opinion. Both of them were to blame for incidents that happened in that season. So stop saying I'm saying sick of it. I'm a British person as well, but he's so defended, Lewis Hamilton. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He's so defended when these Lewis Hamilton fanboys and these Lewis Hamilton snowflakes, saying Max Verstappen's a cheat and all that. When Lewis Hamilton, he's been aggressive. As an easy, I'm happy that we pairs up people of Lewis Hamilton being a twisty, especially for Alex Albon, when that Albon was at Red Bull as well. Austria Corn 3, Hamilton's fault, pushing Albon off the track. Brazilian Corn 3, again, same driver with Alex Albon. So, I'm happy that them up, people. I'm happy that them up. Stop defending Lewis Hamilton. Stop defending Lewis Hamilton. Thinking he's this perfect, nice driver who drives nicely when he doesn't. All of them gonna be aggressive. All of them are gonna be aggressive. All of them are gonna do all they can to win. So let's be real now. And Max Verstappen deserves more credit, in my opinion. And I'm a British fan as well. I'm a British fan, and I want all the British drivers to do well. Obviously, I'm not that much of a fan of Lewis Hamilton personally, in terms of off the track, because I think he is a hypocrite off the track, talking about human rights while still driving Saudi Arabia into Qatar. So make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. So I'm not a fan of Lewis Hamilton off the track, but on the track, he can't doubt his time on the track. But this is about Max Verstappen. 3 world championships in the world now for Max Verstappen. And I think it's going to be hard to stop again next season, to be honest with you. I don't really see anyone stopping Red Bull next season. I still think it's going to be another dominant season for Red Bull. But then you can say it can't continue where you can it. It will stop at some point. And but yeah, just more dominance from Max Verstappen. His driver ability, for me, he is a combined Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher, which is whose praise that Max Verstappen deserves, in my opinion. In terms of, obviously, he's got a bit of Michael Schumacher doing all he can to win. Even if it is dirty, he will do all he can to win. But what's that, people? It's winners. It's winners for you. Max Verstappen, did you hear him near the end of the race? He's fucking shouting down the radio to the same radio saying, "Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me." Everything's done. The championships are sealed, but Max Verstappen, he's a winner. That's what he is. He's a winner. He still wants to win all the remaining races of the season. Try and break records as well. That's what he wants. He's chasing records, Max Verstappen. And we need to give him more credit as British fans. Stop this North Fear mentality from Abu Dhabi when Lewis Hamilton, for me, I'm being truthful. Lewis Hamilton should have pitched earlier in that race in Abu Dhabi. I'm being truthful about it. So, albeit it was a robbery. You have to say it was a bit of a robbery, and he was probably cheated out of it. But boo-hoo, people. Boo-hoo. It happens. It happens in sport, people. And both of them, both Hamilton and Verstappen, deserve to win that championship that year. And you couldn't compare whoever won it. And finally, but anyways, on to Sergio Perez. Right. I think we need to talk about Sergio. We need to talk about Sergio Perez. Obviously, he did finish 5th, but he did finish obviously 5th or 6th. But now he moved up to 4th because of what happened with the disqualifications at the end of the race. Should Perez use his seat if he uses second and try something? For me, he should. As much as I said it's not about the car, he is in the quickest car, Sergio Perez. And as Noah Stute said, he should be finishing second. And I said it about Valtteri Bottas. Apart from 2021. That Valtteri Bottas, for me, when Mercedes were dominant, Bottas should always be finishing second in the Drive Championship. It's the same with Perez as well. Perez should be finishing second, in my opinion, in the Drive Championship, especially when he's in the quickest car on the grid. And I like Perez. I think he's a very good driver. I think he's in that Carlos Sainz category, Sergio Perez. But Perez is always going to be number 2 to Max Verstappen. So he's been a dud number 2. He has been a dud number 2 at Red Bull, Sergio Perez. But if he uses second place after Red Bull's dominance this season, Sergio Perez, for me, has to use the seat. Has to use the seat, in my opinion. But the $64 million question is, who will replace Perez if you're gonna remove Sergio Perez? By the way, people, Perez will be staying. He will stay at Red Bull because I just don't think there is a good enough replacement where people saying Daniel Ricciardo. I don't think he's Daniel Ricciardo. That's in the past now. That's in the past. And Daniel Ricciardo's level now is AlphaTauri, in my opinion. Let's be real about it. Let's be real. It's AlphaTauri. Or it's that mid-table team like Alpine. I don't think he's done enough now for a top team, Daniel Ricciardo. Yes, he's done well. He did well at Red Bull. He did a decent enough job at Red Bull when he was there, Daniel Ricciardo. But I think that would be a bad mistake from Red Bull, going back to Daniel Ricciardo, in my opinion. So as much as I feel Perez should use the seat, there's actually no replacement for him, really. People are going to mention Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, dumbed down to obviously the Red Bull drivers' room and done to your sister team. Again, I don't think they're done enough. I don't think they're done enough for Red Bull. Yuki Tsunoda's changed his fortunes around at AlphaTauri, but again, that's his level. He ain't going to be done enough for Red Bull. Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson, for me, I just don't be another Pedazzi and Ice Albon at Red Bull where they're just not ready. They're just not ready for Red Bull. So I think Red Bull, I just think they're better off keeping Perez at the moment. I think they're better off keeping Perez at the moment. I just can't see anyone else who will be a good replacement for Perez. There's been obviously hints from with Lando Norris and also Piastri being into Red Bull. And then they're not going to like being number 2. They're not going to like being number 2 at Red Bull. And I still think there's going to be something brewing at McLaren where Lando Norris is not going to be happy with Oscar Piastri competing with him, in my personal opinion. Which is why I keep saying you can't have 2 number 1 drivers. You can't have 2 drivers who want to be number 1 in your team. Which is why I still think Red Bull are going to dominate these championships, in my opinion, especially Constructors' Championship as well. So that's my opinion on it. But obviously, if Perez still manages to get second, then yeah, obviously Athens should stay for at least another season. But it's something interesting what Red Bull do if Perez does use second in the Drivers' Championship. Something interesting. I think he will still stay, Perez, but because there's no other suitable replacements for him that's going to be better than Perez. Because I don't think Ricciardo's going to be better. I don't think Lawson's going to be better. And I don't think Yuki Tsunoda's going to be better. And I don't think Norris and Piastri, they will be better. But I don't think they'll want to be number 2 at Red Bull. Up next, Mercedes. Well, it was almost a very good weekend for Mercedes, and especially for Lewis Hamilton. But the heartbreak at the end of the race, after obviously done through the night, where Lewis Hamilton, who did finish second and 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen, ended up getting disqualified after suffering a disqualification for plant irritants for his plant on the car. Same as Charles Leclerc, who also got disqualification for that as well. Well, my question was, should Mercedes have pitted Lewis Hamilton earlier, which could have won in the race, and touched Max Verstappen, because we saw Lewis Hamilton near the end of the race close that gap rapidly on Max Verstappen when he stressed the medium tyres. For me, I think Mercedes fucked up. I do think Mercedes fucked up on the strategy in terms of the first pit stop. I think I'm going to say about Lando Norris year to one that Lando Norris, the pit stop was at the right time for Lando Norris, but it was the one tyre. he went onto the hard tyre while Max Verstappen went onto the mediums. Lewis Hamilton, similar to Lewis Hamilton for me. It's like he went for Lando Norris' strategy and went on the hard tyres, which he shouldn't have. He went on the mediums. He should have went on the mediums, Lewis Hamilton. Also, Lewis Hamilton, he pitted way after Lando Norris. He decided to stay on Lewis Hamilton, which was a mess up from the team, in my opinion. So Lewis Hamilton, then, he should have went on the medium tyres earlier, in my opinion, because the medium tyres were the tyres to go on for this race, in my opinion, because drivers were struggling in the hard tyres, struggling for that pace. We're still, it ended up being a dominant win now for Max Verstappen after, obviously, Lewis Hamilton's disqualification. Well, obviously, Lando Norris now moving up to second. George Russell. George Russell had that luck, in my opinion. And then, due to the disqualification, started fifth, finished fifth. George Russell. Do questions need to be asked about George Russell at Mercedes? Or do we still need to give George Russell time at Mercedes? Because I feel he should be doing a bit better, George Russell. Because I think the talent is there for George Russell, in my opinion. And I do think the ability is there for George Russell to be the long-term replacement for Lewis Hamilton as well. Maybe that's what Mercedes are looking at when they're having these two as teammates. Maybe Lewis Hamilton, Russell is yearning of Lewis Hamilton. But then, for me, I will still say it. I don't think Mercedes, I don't trust Verstappen Red Bull with these two as teammates. Because then, we saw it in Qatar, where they obviously cast, obviously wasn't either's fault, but it was Lewis Hamilton's fault. But they were racing each other, weren't they? Both of them, they were racing each other. You didn't see that Mercedes with Lewis Hamilton and Bottas. So, for me, to win championships, it's vital that you have a number two driver who's happy to be number two. Because having two number one drivers, like at Mercedes, like at Ferrari, like at McLaren, I just think it's done end up turning toxic in the end. And tossing you big time. In my personal opinion. Anyways. So it was almost a good weekend for Mercedes, with Lewis Hamilton finishing second and closing the gap on Max Verstappen to only 2 seconds near the end of the race, which is positive to take. But Lewis Hamilton obviously suffering disqualification through the night for planned irregularities. So it's now turns out to be bittersweet now for Mercedes. Now on to Ferrari. They're just a mess, honestly. For the poster boys of F1, I've made a comparison in football that Manchester United are Ferrari and Manchester City are Red Bull. And Ferrari are the biggest team in F1. And for me, for the poster boys of F1, and for a team that have been the best prepared for these new regulations that start in 2022, they have been an embarrassment, Ferrari. They've been an embarrassment and they've been failures, in my opinion. And they've been disgraceful, Ferrari, as a team, in my opinion. It's not just the drivers, as a team. I think Carlos Sainz is the only positivity about Ferrari, in my opinion. I think he's a good, solid, consistent driver, Carlos Sainz. And he'd be happy now, won't he? Carlos Sainz is obviously on the podium. Thanks to Lewis Hamilton's disqualification, it ends up turning up being a good weekend for Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc is Charles Leclerc, in my opinion. He does this all the time. In qualifying, he's the best friend since the squared in qualifying. He's rapid. He's rapidly quick. But that's nothing new with Ferrari. Ferrari are always quick in qualifying these days. But when it comes to the race, they always seem to fuck it up. Same with Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, during the race, he was chopping out a bloody fly. Chopping out a fly. I've never seen a bad reaction time to get off the line and start the race in my life. Lando Norris more quicker. Lando Norris be thinking, oh yeah, I've got this. I've got this since Charles Leclerc. It's Ferrari for you, and it's Charles Leclerc for you. Charles Leclerc is the biggest wasted talent in F1, in F1 history, in my opinion. People will be like, oh, you can't say that. He has won races. So, oh, boo-hoo. So what? So what? It's all about winning championships, in my opinion. All about winning championships. Pastor Maldonado is obviously the F1 Mitsu in terms of football terms. One season wonder. Pastor Maldonado, one race wonder. Obviously winning that Spanish Grand Prix in 2012 in the Williams. Never been seen ever since. I said it with Demon Stanley when he hit the 9 dart in darts. Boo-hoo, so what? Never been seen ever since. When he did that fucking ridiculous race and running off the stage. Like he was getting chased by a bloody burglar. Real talk, man. I'm real about it with Charles Leclerc. He's the best racer talent in F1. And for me, I'm going to say right now, he's just simply not good enough for a top team like Ferrari, in my opinion. And I think Carlos Sainz is actually good enough for Ferrari. I think he is good enough for Ferrari, Carlos Sainz. For me, I still think Carlos Sainz is still number 2 at Ferrari. And he should still be a number 2 at Ferrari, in my opinion. But Carlos Sainz is thinking to himself, how the hell am I above the number 1 driver at Ferrari and Charles Leclerc? Come on now, people need to start asking questions about Charles Leclerc. He shouldn't be brought, he's so-called number 2 driver, Carlos Sainz, and drive something, but he is. But yes, because Charles Leclerc, he is mistake prone. And for me, Charles Leclerc has got himself to PM. Stuck himself to PM for not being a world champion already. Because, albeit Ferrari have fucked up races, obviously, especially in 2022, when Ferrari were the best prepared team for the 2022 season, fucked up races for him. But Charles Leclerc, he also fucked up races for himself. Remember Imola, where he was having a spin? He's too mistake prone and crossing into the barriers. I think it was in France as well, the French Grand Prix. So we need to be real about it. For me, Carlos Sainz is the better driver than Charles Leclerc. And for me, Carlos Sainz deserves to stay at Ferrari, while Charles Leclerc deserves to be removed from Ferrari. Charles Leclerc, I'm not saying he deserves to be removed from F1. I still think he is good enough for F1, but he ain't good enough for a top team anymore, in my opinion. Charles Leclerc is good enough for like an Alpine level, something like that. Like an Alpine. I would have said a McLaren, but McLaren I came off leaps and bounds now, haven't they? So yeah, you have a team like that. But Aston Martin, I think that's a good team for Charles Leclerc. He can learn off Fernando Alonso, potentially as well. I mean, that could be the partnership at Aston Martin, Alonso and Leclerc. Because Lance Stroll was pretty useless. As much as Lance Stroll did finish the race, Alonso didn't. But we'll get on to Aston Martin later. On to McLaren. Lando Norris started second, and he finished second due to obviously Lewis Hamilton's disqualification. Also, Piastri started 10th, but suffered a DNF after a collision on the opening lap with Esteban Ocon when they were side by side. Side pod damage for the both of them. But I said it earlier about Lando Norris' weight and McLaren's strategy. I think switching to the hards could have cost Lando Norris the race win. Like I said for Lando Norris, it was the right time. It was the right time to stop, but it should have been on the medium tyres because, yes, be real, when Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton were ahead of Max Verstappen wasn't really causing that gap at all, was he? It wasn't really causing that gap. I honestly thought Norris and Hamilton were quick they were quick on them medium tyres. I think the problem was Lando Norris. I think he used the medium tyres up, didn't he? Was it in qualifying or the sprint weight? I think it was. He did use them up, so I think he only had to go into a hard tyre. Lando Norris was probably cost him a race win, in my opinion. Lando Norris probably only cost him a race win. We will never know though because of the juggernaut that is Max Verstappen, of course. Who knows? Max Verstappen might still close that gap anyways in the end and still overtook them. But it could have cost Lando Norris. I think that ultimately could have cost now Lando Norris a race win. Right time to stop, but obviously stressing to the one tyre. Because, like I keep saying earlier, I think the medium tyre was the tyre for me. McLaren added the closest chances to Red Bull next season. I think you have to say so. I think you have to say they are the closest chances to Red Bull. I don't think there will be chance enough for the championship. I still think Red Bull, it will be one-way traffic for them, still in my opinion. Because we've seen it with McLaren in the last 2 seasons now, where they've started the season off badly. They've started the season off outside the top 10 on the grid. McLaren. The main thing from McLaren is, can they sustain this car for next season? If they can, then yeah, I think they'll be the second best team on the grid behind Red Bull. But you don't think Mercedes don't sort themselves out at some point as well, Mercedes. So yeah, I think Red Bull will be looking at McLaren and Mercedes for next season. I don't think they'll be looking at Ferrari, because Ferrari is Ferrari for you. They will still fucking mess it up. Doesn't matter if Ferrari start the season off well, they will mess it up big time, as always. So yeah, that's my opinions on McLaren being potential close chances for Red Bull. If they can sustain the car and Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri can be happy with where they are as in terms of number 1 and number 2 in terms of the team, then yeah, I think McLaren can be a big problem for Red Bull. Same with Mercedes. That's what they need. They need Lewis Hamilton and George Russell to work together. They need one driver to be happy to be number 2 and the other driver happy to be number 1. Same with McLaren as well. Same with McLaren in my personal opinion. On to Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso, of course, started from the pit end, as did Lance Stroll. Alonso unfortunately suffered a DNF in the end, while Lance Stroll ended up finishing P7, which is quite good. And Lance Stroll, believe it or not, people, Lance Stroll, that's my driver of the Grand Prix. Well, driver of the day, as they do it. So, believe it or not, Lance Stroll, that's the driver of the day for me. So yeah, a good race from Lance Stroll. Obviously, he did finish 9th, but obviously due to disqualifications, he moved up 2 places. A disaster qualifying. Stroll's good race for me, papering over the team's downfall in the second half of the season, and that is factual, in my opinion. Where have Aston Martin done? Aston Martin, first half of the season, first couple of races, Aston Martin were the closest chances. To Red Bull. It means it's madness, isn't it? It's an absolute madness. Aston Martin and Fernando Alonso was Max Verstappen's closest chances for the first couple of races. And Aston Martin, we were all shocked in the first couple of races. They were the closest chances to Red Bull. And they were down on podiums as well. Well, Alonso was down on podiums. It's like Aston Martin and McLaren have switched round in terms of second half of the season. First half of the season, McLaren were nowhere near the podium places. They were more getting into the top 10 or finishing outside the top 10. But now they seem to switch round. And Aston Martin now seem to be struggling to sit on the podium and even struggling to still get in the top 10 at times, Aston Martin. It's had to swap engines around. And I don't think this is good at all. I don't think this is good if you want to keep an asset like Fernando Alonso at the team. Because Fernando Alonso, I think he's still an incredible driver. I still think he's still doing it as a driver, ability-wise as well, Fernando Alonso. So for the first couple of races, Fernando Alonso was thinking to himself, yeah, I'm happy with this. I am happy with this. Then on the podiums as well. Max Verstappen's close to for the first couple of races, but it's just done downhill. It's done downhill after that, which is, a very strange one. We wonder what the reason is for that. Did they develop the car too early in terms of the pre-season testing as well? They did develop the car too early, and now it's starting to use that pace. Now it's starting to use that pace now. So I think that's what it might be if Aston Martin could probably develop the car too early and probably stop developing the car when it should have developed it even more, in my opinion, and try and sustain it. There's a lot of rumours that Aston Martin might be put up for sale. Obviously, they're not going to be called Aston Martin for next season as well. I think they're going to be called something else now. One of the sponsors they'll be told now. But yeah, I think they're starting to sell their shares now, Aston Martin. I think there is rumours that Lance Stroll's father, who is in charge of the team, might be selling the team as well. I don't think he'll leave this year, but I think he'll be next year, upcoming years to come, where Aston Martin might need to say to themselves, right, we need to remove Lance Stroll's dad, and we need to remove Lance Stroll himself, because I don't think Lance Stroll is good enough for Aston Martin to progress where they want to progress. But maybe this is F1 now, where you probably don't need probably 2 number 1 drivers in your team to make it more competitive. Who knows? But I just think that makes it toxic in terms of McLaren and Mercedes. Obviously, I mentioned Charles Leclerc potentially for Aston Martin. It could work. I reckon it could work, but then I think Alonso and Leclerc are going to want priority at Aston Martin as well. So I bet then that's going to be another problem. But maybe that's where we're heading now. Maybe that's where we're heading with 2 number 1 drivers. Maybe as in the team now. But I don't know, it's a hard one. But I still think you need a driver who's happy to be number 2. And I think they're going to be hard to find these days. Because do you roll the dice? Do you roll the dice and just have 2 number 1 drivers in your team and hope that you can be up there? Like Mercedes and McLaren are hoping for. So yeah, it's one of them where it is one of them. But there's a reason why Red Bull are dominating, because they're all following instructions, and Perez is happy to be number 2. That's what wins your championships. Hamilton and Bottas and Mercedes. Ferrari, Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello back in the day. Barrichello, by the way, brilliant driver. But again, he was happy to be number 2. And 2009, when obviously the one team wonder, Braun won the obviously 2009 championship. Jason Button was number 1, Barrichello was number 2. But yeah, onto Alpine. Obviously, there's been rumours of obviously numerous sports stars obviously putting investment into Alpine. Let's see what that does. I don't think it will do anything personally. They just be buying shares, where I mean, Ryan Reynolds is already has a stake into Alpine as well. I think Alpine need more than investment, in my opinion. Especially when they were probably the 4th best team, especially last season as well, when they had Alonso and Ocon. So yeah, they've dropped off this season to obviously the 6th best team in F1. Dadsey finished 7th, started 7th and 6th. Ocon did start 8th, but did obviously have that DNF due to obviously his race being moved after a Piastri on opening up. But positive signs for Alpine. Positive signs apart from the DNF. Excluding the DNF, positive signs. Very good qualifying, but it was always going to be good qualifying for me. and a good race. Well, still, well, a good qualifying and a good race for Perdazzi. Perdazzi loves it in Austin. He loves getting the points in Austin. Perdazzi. It's a track that suits him, and it's a track that suited Alpine as well. It's a track that suited Alpine, so you could say overall, still a good weekend for Alpine, but it's just a real shame that Ocon had his race ruined by, after that, Pearson with Piastri, which caused both of them to DNF. And I want to see Oscar Piastri. Yeah. If you know, you know. Oscar Piastri, of course, who is an ex-Alpine driver. Obviously, he didn't drive for Alpine, but obviously he was part of Alpine's academy and development drivers. And obviously, we all know what happened with Alpine and Piastri up to obviously announcing them when he wasn't really announced at all, and he didn't even sign with Alpine. So we all know what happened there. I think you're starting to see at the moment Alpine are probably regretting now using Piastri, but they can only blame it on themselves for announcing him when he wasn't announced. So yeah, Alpine, I do expect them to be better in the next upcoming years to try and get back to being the fourth best team, because that is the battle for me, or even fifth. Obviously, with now McLaren's developments, so you may have the bid for now in terms of F1. So yeah, I do expect Alpine to be better in the next upcoming years, in my opinion. I think next year will be the year for Alpine where I think they'll be better. Now, Dazzy and Ocon have known each other for a year now in terms of trying for the same team. On to Williams. Wow. After the disqualifications, it's been a fantastic result for Williams. Double points. Both drivers then in the points. Jordan Sargent in his home race, then into the points as well. And it's been coming. You know what? With Jordan Sargent, right? I think it's been coming for him. I think he's been quite unlucky this season, Jordan Sargent. I think he's been quite unlucky this season. Probably not unlucky not getting the points, but unlucky in terms of qualifying, in past qualifying, where he has get himself down, when he has hit the curves and went into barriers in terms of qualifying sessions. But Williams, a surely progression. And I said at the start of the season, I said Williams as one of my teams to watch. Because I said the appointment of James Vowles from Mercedes, appointing him as team principal, I said, you know what, this is quite an interesting appointment, interesting in a good way. And I took a punt on Williams to be 7th in the Constructors' Championship, to be above Alfa Romeo, Haas and AlphaTauri, and that's where they are at the moment. I tell you what, if Williams weren't so unlucky in the past races this season, Williams would be battling Alpine for 6th in the Constructors' Championship. And I think Williams, for me, are only done that better and better, in my opinion, and progress even further, in my opinion. So I think Alpine needs to look over the shoulder for next season, because I think Williams will be battling them for 6th in the Constructors' standings, in my opinion. Alex Albon for me, very underrated driver, and a very talented driver as well. Alex Albon, for me, he's basically doing a George Russell at Williams in 2021, where he's getting the best out of that Williams car, Alex Albon, and I think he's overachieving in that Williams car, Alex Albon. And again, that's due to his driving ability, Alex Albon. And at these new regulations, they suit the ice of Max Verstappen, Alex Albon, Charles Leclerc, even though he's not pretty using it to his advantage. They suit them non-talented drivers, don't they? Lando Norris as well, there we go. And Alex Albon, Perdazzi, they suit them drivers, also Piastri as well. These new regulations from 2022 suit the ice of them drivers, because they do obviously drive simulators with these regulations, of course. So it's not a surprise that Alex Albon's overachieving in this Williams car, in my opinion. And then I think that's another shout for Aston Martin. Maybe as Albon, maybe try and tempt as Albon to Aston Martin, because I don't think Fernando Alonso's going to be in F1 forever. So that's another one. And as Albon, I tell you what, I think he's a candidate, to replace Charles Leclerc at Ferrari as well. Imagine Albon and Carlos Sainz as a partnership at Ferrari. That would be a good partnership, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, anyways. Don't off topic. It just came into my head. If I'm Red Bull, go after Carlos Sainz. Go after Carlos Sainz from Ferrari. Because I think Carlos Sainz would actually be happy to be number 2 at Red Bull. He's had a strong relationship with Red Bull in the past. Obviously, he used to try for Toro Rosso, Carlos Sainz as well. Has a good relationship with Verstappen as well. So that could be someone for Red Bull to replace Perez. So yeah, Carlos Sainz potentially to replace Perez at Red Bull. But yeah, that's Williams. And I think they're done surely progress as a team under James Vowles as well. In my personal opinion. Up next, Alfa Romeo. Just your standard race. You respect Alfa Romeo. Nothing more to say for me. Zhou Guan Yu, he is decent. He actually is quite decent qualifying, but the race matters more, in my opinion. The race matters more for me. So yeah, Bottas starts 13th, finishes 12th. Zhou starts 12th, finishes 13th. For me, Bottas is doing the best he can, in my opinion, in that Alfa Romeo car. I do feel sorry for Bottas in that Alfa Romeo. I think he is better than that position, in my opinion, Valtteri Bottas. He is a good, consistent point scorer. And he belongs in a team that will obviously finish in the top 10 consistently. And Alfa Romeo are not going to be that team, unfortunately. So I think Bottas is doing his best, in my opinion, in that Alfa Romeo car. And then, if you're Red Bull, do you take a punt on Bottas? Obviously, it won't happen because of his, obviously, Mercedes, or obviously, in support. So obviously, Bottas will. But Bottas is another one you could take a punt on if you're Red Bull. But yeah, that won't happen either, unfortunately. Haas, same as Alfa Romeo for me. Just your standard race for Haas as you respect. And then Nico Hulkenberg, I think he's doing his best for Haas, in my opinion, then the best out of that Haas car. Magnussen, that's Kevin Magnussen's level for me. Where he is now, 14th. I think that's his level, Kevin Magnussen. They should keep that team for me, keep that lineup. I think that's the lineup they should stick with for at least another season, Hulkenberg and Magnussen. Nico Hulkenberg, for me, used to be that driver for me, like Sergio Perez, where I wanted to see Nico Hulkenberg, what Nico Hulkenberg could do in a top team. But he just hasn't done that move, unfortunately, has he? I'm probably wondered that move now, unfortunately, for Nico Hulkenberg. But it just shows that he just wasn't good enough for that top team, was he? Otherwise, he would have done that move. Just like Perez did at Red Bull. So yeah, just your standard race as you expect for Haas as well. Same with Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri. Daniel Ricciardo started 14th and 15th. Yuki Tsunoda started 11th. He had a good qualifying, to be fair. Yuki Tsunoda finished 8th and topped up a perfect corner 3 for Yuki Tsunoda. So far, Yuki Tsunoda's getting the points with the worst car on the grid for me. All eyes on next season for both drivers to progress the team, and I think that's why. I think it is all eyes on next season for both drivers to progress the team, because I mean it will be both of these drivers. Both these drivers will be teammates next season at AlphaTauri. You can't judge Daniel Ricciardo because Daniel Ricciardo came in the summer break, didn't they, to replace Nick de Vries. So you can't judge Ricciardo, will you? It's all about next season where you can judge Daniel Ricciardo. And I do expect AlphaTauri to be much better, especially with that lineup as well. Yuki Tsunoda, I think he's quite lucky to keep his seat at AlphaTauri. I don't think he's progressed from 2021, in my personal opinion. Yuki Tsunoda's done more classing than keeping the car on the pretty track, in my opinion. If he kept his car on the track, then I think deserves to keep his place, Yuki Tsunoda, but he is staying for next season. And he's under the most pressure now. Next season, Yuki Tsunoda, he needs to progress. He needs to start progressing, and then, in my opinion, alongside Daniel Ricciardo, and get AlphaTauri back to at least the 7th best team in F1 for next season. Because Red Bull will be expecting better from AlphaTauri, in my opinion. So the drivers and constructor standings stand like this. Red Bull, Max Verstappen, of course, in first place with 466 points. Sergio Perez in second with 240 points. Look at that. That is ridiculous, isn't it? How far Max Verstappen is ahead. I mean, if I was to make a comparison between Red Bull, Max Verstappen, and the rest of the grid, it's basically Max Verstappen is a great target from WWE, and the rest of the grid are basically Hornswaddle. You know that 12th in WWE. That's what it is. It's ridiculous, but it's unbelievable. You don't admit it. It's unbelievable and incredible from Max Verstappen and Red Bull. I never saw this coming start season. Don't get me wrong, I said Red Bull would dominate and Max Verstappen would dominate, but I didn't see this coming. Bloody hell. Smashing records, to be fair. 706 points, and you look at this when we move on to the next team. 344 points, unbelievable. Lewis Hamilton, obviously in third. He did obviously get points deducted due to that disqualification, so he's back on 201. George Russell, 143. George Russell, 143, which puts George Russell in 8th. Well, it doesn't say it on there, but it puts him in 8th place, George Russell. So, that's quite worrying. If I'm George Russell, I'm quite worried about that, being 8th in the Drivers' Championship. But it is close, to be fair. It is close between 3rd and 8th. Well, between 4th and 8th, in my opinion. That's where it is close. Hamilton chasing Perez down for 2nd place. Ferrari, Carlos Sainz, 171 points in 5th place. Charles Leclerc, 151 points in 7th. That's poor. That is absolute poor. That's diabolical for Charles Leclerc. And 322 points, the total number of points in terms of constructor standings, was puts them in 4th. So he puts Ferrari in 3rd, puts Ferrari in 3rd in constructor standings. McLaren 4th in the constructors. Lando Norris in 6th with 159 points, moving up to 6th. Lando Norris, also Piastri, stays on 83 points in 9th. Aston Martin's now down to 5th in constructor standings after McLaren overtake Aston Martin. Remarkable, really, isn't it? You wouldn't have thought that the first couple of races. Fernando Alonso is in 4th with 183 points. Unfortunately for Fernando, I think he will start now chopping down the Drivers' Championship. Maybe to 6th at Yates, because drivers behind Alonso will be chasing him down now. Lance Stroll on 53 points, he's in 11th in the drivers' standings, and 236 points. Alpine in 6th, Darsey 56 points in 10th, 10th in the drivers. Ocon 12th in the drivers with 44, and they've reached 100 points. Williams in 7th, Albon with the 25 points in 13th. Jordan Sargent getting his first point on the board, but still remains in 20th in the drivers. So 26 points in total for Williams. Could have easily been more. In past races have been unlucky. Alfa Romeo in 8th in the constructors with 16 points. Bottas with the 10 points in 14th. And obviously Chopin Union 17th in the drivers, with 6 points. Haas 9th with Hulkenberg with the 9 points, Madsen with the 3 points, Hulkenberg 15th in the drivers, Madsen 18th in the drivers, 12 points for Haas. And bottom of the table, AlphaTauri, Yuki Tsunoda with the 8 points and 16th in the drivers. Even Lawson is the only other driver to that. Even Lawson, who came in temporary, only other driver to get points for AlphaTauri. He's in 19th in the drivers. Nick de Vries in 21st, and Ricciardo in 22nd, bottom of the table. Sorry, that's meant to say 10 points in total, not 7. So they're only 2 points off Haas AlphaTauri, to be fair. So the final question. The question is, I've been thinking about is, should F1 keep the sprint format, or should we scrap sprint and go back to the traditional practice qualifying race schedule? For me, I think the sprint is only done a pro, in my opinion. In F1, it's only done pro. And I said it about Andretti. I know it's different, but I said it about Andretti need to be introduced into F1 as their F1 team. We need more teams in F1 for this sport to grow. Personally, I don't see the point in sprint, in my opinion. The only point in sprint is you get bonus points. That's about it. And it is entertaining, but it can be entertaining while it lasts. But because Max Verstappen's stats is so good at the moment, he's even winning the sprint races as well. So it's just pointless where you. At first, I was excited by it. At first, when it was first introduced, I was like, yeah, I'm up for this. We need to see the sport grow. But now seeing it after a couple of years now, I think we should swap it, in my opinion, and just go back to the traditional practice qualifying race schedule. The problem is, though, we need the sport to grow. Are people finding practice qualifying race schedule too boring? It's all about the fans, really. It's all about the fans. I see what they were trying to do with the sprint, but I just don't think it's working at the moment. I just don't think it's working at all. The top 8 get the points when it should be top 10, really. Because in the race, that's traditional, the top 10 get points. But the top 8, but at the same time, it's making drivers work more to get points. If you just say in the top 8, maybe they should narrow it in terms of who gets points in the sprint to probably top 5, something like that. Then it makes it even more, makes drivers work even more to try and get into the top 5. And what it should do potentially is for the sprint, maybe half the points, from the traditional race. So first place in the sprint, that's 12 points, 12.5 points, which is half of 25. Obviously, the fastest lap in the sprint, remove that. Add that as a bonus point. I think the points should be more in terms of the sprint, so that's where it could work. First place, in the normal race, it would be 25 points, or if it's 26, if you get the fastest lap, then 12.5, 13. If you know the drill, just half the points, really. So that's what I think they should do to improve the sprint. I think they should do that, actually, half the points from the traditional race points. So first place in the sprint, that's 12.5 or 13 points, depending on the day that the fastest lap. Well, it'd be 13.5, won't it? Yeah, it'd be 13.5 the fastest lap. But you know what I mean. So 18, so half of 18 would be 9, or half of 19 will be, the fastest lap will be 9.5. So yeah, you know the drill. You know the drill. So I think it should be, for me, to improve the sprint format. Obviously, keep the sprint shootout. Yeah, definitely keep that, because it would get confusing if you don't have sprint qualifying. So sprint qualifying, then sprint weights. Then in the sprint weights, it should only be the top 5, in my opinion. To be fair, I did like it when it was only the top 3. I think I remember it was only top 3, wasn't it? That dot points. So I actually liked that. To be fair, I did like that. But I would half it from the top 10. So I'll give points to the top 5. Points to the top 5. Use the traditional race points, but obviously for a sprint format, half the traditional race points. So the winner gets like 13 points or 2.5 points, something like that. So that's all I would do, really. That's all I would do to improve the sprint format, is make it top 5 get points, and obviously make it more points instead of single digit points. So like the winner gets half of 26, half of 25, so 12.5, 13.5 points. So something like that. That's what I would do. Because at the moment, I just don't think it's working at all. But they are right. They are right to use the sprint format, in my opinion. I see where they're done with it, but I just think they need to improve it, and that's what I would do to improve it, in my opinion. That's what I would do. Or even in the top 10. Or even did points to the top 10. Right? Or the top 8, for instance. No, top 5. Yeah, top 5. Yeah, I'm going to say top 5 for me. Just the top 5. Or even top 4, potentially. I just think they need to narrow it down in terms of who gets points in terms of the sprint rates. I think they need to narrow it down back to at least the top 3, in my opinion. That's what I think they should do. At least the top 5 for me get points, in my personal opinion. So that's what I would do. So at the moment, I would scrap the sprint unless they take my advice. And if they take my advice and try and improve it, then yeah, then I'm all for it. But we do need the sport to grow, in my opinion. I can only see sprint format growing even more. It's here to stay. It's like 3 in football. It's here to stay. Sprint in F1 is here to stay, in my opinion. It is here to stay. And also, what they need to do with the sprint format is they need to use the sprint format at Grand Prix where you can easily overtake. To make it more exciting. Because they had a sprint format at Azerbaijan, which was absolutely pointless, because that is one of the most difficult tracks to overtake on Azerbaijan. Obviously, it's not like Monaco, you can overtake at Azerbaijan, but that's only on the start finish straight where you can really overtake. Or when you turn into the first cut, or turns 2 and 3, where you at the start of turns 2 and 3. That's where you can overtake. So that's my thoughts on that. But anyways, that's my F1 United States Grand Prix review. We do head to Mexico this weekend, then Brazil the weekend after, so a preview will be coming out sometime this week for the Mexican Grand Prix. Take care, stay safe. So yeah, and feel free to leave your thoughts on everything I spoke about in this review of the United States Grand Prix, and see you all for the Mexican Grand Prix preview. And finally, should we keep the format? Should we keep the sprint format, or would you go to the traditional practice qualifying race schedule? Take care and see you later.